I don't know if you noticed, but in the first round, he was working his leg,
Yeah, he
which is
was.
exactly how he fucking beat him in the first fight. Cause dog, dude, Pereira, dog, in the first fight, it was like super even, like they were attacking each other,
Uh-huh.
but 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 your heart, hold on, dog, it's like your heart drops because you couldn't tell. Every time Izzy hit him, it was like it was a clean, good shot. Every time Pereira hit him, he was moving him back.
And that was what, the last fight?
Yeah, the last fight, like,
Oh,
and even in this fight, you can tell with every shot, like this dude's a heavy hitter. Like
yeah, he is.
everything, like Izzy didn't look like his like hurt, like he had a good poker face. Like it didn't look like it was painful,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
his whole body would shift every time. His body went back every time he took a punch.
Every time.
Dog.
Yeah, he was pressing him. He was pressing him.
Every time, like that shows you how powerful Pereira is. And I'm like, dog, did you watch the first fight?
No, no, I didn't watch the first fight.
Dude, it was like I watched the first fight, dog, and then I went all 5 rounds to the knockout at the TKO at the
Yeah,
end,
I just saw the
and
knockout. That's all I saw.
dog, and Izzy was winning the entire fight, and then I can tell you this because I'm, bro, you've been watching you've seen enough fights where you know the exact feeling that I'm about to describe.
Uh-huh.
It was a fight where you know who's winning the fight, but you're still on the edge of your seat with an eerie feeling because you can tell even though the guy's winning, it feels like he's surviving.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
Have you
barely.
seen those fights?
Of course, of course. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's exactly how the first fight was, Doc, because Izzy was winning. He was winning every round. Like the fight was gonna be his 100%. But for some reason, you just had an eerie feeling that every round that he won, it was more of a feeling of he survived it than he won it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the thing is, like this dude, even though he was like getting outstruck, every time he landed on Izzy, Izzy's legs buckled
Yeah, no, it
every
did.
single time.
Even, yeah,
So
this time it was the same thing.
so you're like, dog, like what's going on? And finally in the fifth round, dog,
Hmm.
he finished him. So I was like, man, it's crazy. So I'm watching this fight, and the first round is almost looking like the same thing that like, oh, he's getting hurt, and then you even called it yourself when you were texting me saying like dog, like this dude was covered up on the cage, and he came back with that punch.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, he. By the way, hold on. Let me welcome everyone here. We got Sam. What up, KQ? What up, JMV? Markles. I see you guys. What up, Red Star, aka Els? Straight Edge. Go on, man. Go back to sleep if you're gonna come in here with that bullshit. Izzy with the ultimate lick back. Alex definitely needs to go up to 205. That's what Brian was telling me. Fight Rick for rematch. Nah, look, let me tell you guys something, man. Me and Brian were texting back and forth during the fight and after the fight, and Izzy said that he was playing possum. Look, Izzy is. By the way, Trout, you could join me. I opened the lobby. Let's see if it works. If you want to play some WWE, I don't know if you're down.
Oh, WWE?
Yeah, I'll do a couple matches
I'm
on
gonna,
there.
I'm gonna have to rejoin transfer on PlayStation.
Don't worry. Take your time. Take your time. We'll be here talking.
Alright.
So when I see Izzy, bro, I look at him as like the ultimate showboater, shit talker, charismatic, knows how to sell a fight, knows how to put on a show, and his style in the I was gonna say the ring, but his style in the octagon is exciting to see, and that's me not really truly being a real fan of his, but his fights are definitely worthwhile. He makes it worthwhile for the most part. And when he grabbed the microphone and he said, I was just playing possum. Look right there. I was playing possum. Bro, Alex had that man pinned so good. So good, Brian.
Yeah.
There is no way Izzy was on the verge of getting destroyed. But you know what? That's like, remember I texted you right after the match. I said, oh, dude, I almost had you. You never had me. The Fast and
Yeah.
Furious line. It felt exactly like that moment because he literally almost had him. He literally almost had him. But you know what, man? Izzy is a beast. He countered, and it wasn't just a regular counter. It was like, I'm going for it all here. Like he
That was
went,
one of the deadliest knockouts I've seen.
dude. deadliest, and I'm glad that I didn't. You know what's funny? Because that's the impression that I got, but I was kind of like hesitant to send you the text because I was like, bro, this is one of the greatest rounds I've ever watched because I've seen Max Holloway's crazy wars, Brian Ortega. Like, there's so many wars that we've seen and that we've talked about that this wasn't to that level in terms of scrappiness, but the back and forth that they had here and like you said, the significant strikes, I was very, very concerned. And ultimately, bro, he put everything he had into that punch. And when I saw the replay, it added more like to what I felt in the moment. Cause bro, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God. And I was texting Brian back, guys. I was texting Brian back because I was just so shocked. It was such a good, like, picture perfect knockout. It's like the guy that got overzealous, didn't manage himself correctly, and he paid the price for it. It was incredible. Incredible, incredible. And I see you guys talking about. Go ahead, go ahead.
Flatline, he was just out cold, dude. Like,
Cold.
I haven't seen a knockout like that in a while where the dude was out for a good minute.
And that, yeah, he was out for a good minute. And that Kevin Holland knockout, too, that was beautiful, man. My God. He face planted that dude, bro. He just landed on his face like it's like flip of a switch. It's the best way I could describe it. Alex fight like a rock'em sock'em robot? Nah, don't talk shit about him like just because he lost like that. Don't say that. He hit him with a 1-2 and had him stunned. He hit him with another big shot. Yep, that shit was crazy. Masvidal's speech was beautiful. Respect to him. Look, I'll give him props for his speech. Brian knows this better than most. I marked out so hard for Masvidal. Me and Brian, we had gone half on a pay-per-view. The pay-per-view that he did the knee to Ben Askren, which Brock Lesnar fought on that night. So Jorge could thank Brock Lesnar for helping him get even more famous. But Jorge with the beautiful knee shot, one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history, right? I like Jorge, bro. He's from my same town. He is like every friend that I ever had in high school, pretty much. Every person that we played basketball with at the park.
He talks like everybody we know.
Yeah, he talks like everybody we know. So, like, Jorge Masvidal is literally every guy we've ever met at the park throughout our, high school life and shit. So, like, it was cool to see someone from your town and neighborhood, yeah, really get, to where he got. And let's be honest, he could have been a lackluster journeyman, and he was a little more than that. He peaked late, obviously, but beautiful career in terms of what he was able to achieve. If you're talking money, he won. If you're talking in success, he won. If you're talking about capturing the title, well, that's another story. He fell short. I just think he got outmatched, He showed that you need a little more than just heart and power and defense. Because, look, let's be honest. He's not really that great of a wrestler or a submission specialist, but his defense is really good. His defense is really, really good. And I think he could have beaten Usman. I do wholeheartedly feel he could have beaten Usman. But maybe you guys say that I'm talking shit. Maybe Brian says that I'm wrong. But I feel like Jorge Masvidal's mind was already checked out 3 fights ago.
Is that he looked old, bro?
Yeah. And I just think that
I feel like in our head, like he's still the same dude from 2019.
yeah, no, he's not. He's not. Those 4 years caught up to him, and he was facing guys that are far better than him in terms of technique. So he needed to have, like, bro, what drives me crazy, Brian, and everyone in the chat who watches, UFC, MMA, whatever, what drives me crazy is that I know Jorge could beat Leon Edwards, and I know that if Leon Edwards beat Usman, I know that Jorge could have beaten Usman too. That's the only reason why I'm saying it so confidently, because Leon Edwards beat Usman in a Hail Mary knockout, and he beat him in the rematch. And you know why he beat him, bro? Because his team put together one of the greatest strategies I've ever seen in it felt like a chess match. The Leon Edwards and Usman match, you remember that one?
Yeah.
Bro, that rematch was a chess match. Everything Usman was trying to rely on, which is his specialty, he couldn't do anything to him. He couldn't do anything at all. And Leon did just enough to survive, bro. You know how you just said, oh, when you're on the edge of your seat because they're barely surviving? That's how I felt Leon was against Usman.
Yeah.
He was barely surviving. And I think Jorge could have done it, bro. But I wanted to see Jorge versus Conor McGregor. I wanted to see Jorge versus Nate Diaz part 2. I wanted to see, those kind of fights. I didn't want to see him against Gilbert Burns, bro. If it was Jorge versus Nate Diaz, man, I would have been at the show today, I think. If it would have been Jorge versus McGregor, I would have been at the show. The Gilbert Burns matchup was just, that's no fun for me, bro. When I saw that he signed to fight Gilbert Burns, the first thing I told Brian was, do you really think this dude's retiring already? And look at what happened. He immediately announced his retirement because, bro, his heart is with the sport. I know he loves it and enjoys it. I don't want to talk for him. But in terms of like the motivation and that hunger, he didn't have that dog in him anymore, bro.
He has money now, dog. So he wasn't the same.
He wasn't the same, dude. He wasn't the same. I'm sorry to tell you, but in 4 years, you don't change as much as he did.
And what the thing is, bro, and what sucks, and it's like me and you don't know the feeling, but we've seen it time and time again, dog. What I'm starting to realize, bro, it doesn't matter how good you are and how much you want it or what your personality is, what your background is, or whatever. Dog, whether you like it or not, or whether it's on purpose or not, you're never gonna have that same hunger, dog, once you're a millionaire.
No.
You're never.
No, I don't think so. I agree. I
It's
totally agree.
and it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were raised right and you know money's not everything or whatever. It's like you're never gonna have that same hunger once money's in the like equation.
What up, Chris? What up, Ref? Yeah, because let's be honest, bro. You won. You won. Essentially, you won. What are we fighting for, dude? We're fighting for work. We're fighting to climb up the rankings. We're fighting for fame. We're fighting to create a household name. He did all of that. He climbed up the rankings. He knows what it feels like to be a top contender. He knows what it's like to be in a title fight. It's like getting nominated for an Oscar and not winning. He had 2 title fights in his career, and where he came from, that's a big deal. To say that he got 2 title fights, Brian, in one of the most skilled divisions in all of sports, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. He came from backyard fighting on YouTube and with Kimbo Slice and them to having 2 major title fights and major pay-per-view sales. Started from the bottom, now we're here. And that's it, bro. His family got food on the table. He ain't the tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a scripted story.
I'm telling you, McGregor was never the same after money.
No, definitely not.
Definitely after money. It's like you're never gonna come from that place of where you have to.
No, that's it.
No matter how much you love the sport, you know.
Because you know what got them there was that hunger that they had. Let's be honest. What got them there in that predicament?
But I mean, that's their thing, dude. And, I mean, John Jones has spoken about like John Jones straight up has said dog, like the goal. He admitted like I'm never gonna be more motivated than the challenger. Like the challengers coming for it, like can only dream about the life that you live.
Yeah.
So he's like the secret to his success is that he has to find new motivations.
100%.
And the motivation for him, John Jones, is to be the greatest of all time, which only like a handful of people on earth ever even have the chance to be in the talks.
Yeah, you could join KQ. Go for it. Of course, of course.
And Mike Tyson, I remember they interviewed Mike Tyson when they said because I remember they said his son wanted to start boxing. And Mike Tyson said that's the stupidest idea I ever heard because they're like, well, why can't you train your son? And then he was like, dude, he's like, the biggest fear of my life is my son stepping into a ring with a man that had my mentality when I was that age.
He's gonna get killed.
Yeah, because Mike Tyson's like, dog, I came from nothing and I was hungry. It's like literally, if I didn't win, I literally didn't eat.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was my mentality when I was 19. Why would I want my son who knows who's lived a life of, you know,
Yeah, the life that he's
never
lived.
wanting to need to go into step into a ring with somebody with someone that was like me.
Yeah, his son's motivation would be to just surpass his dad's legacy or step out of his dad's shadow. That's the most hunger that he could probably find,
And it
logically.
still wouldn't be the same of
Because
somebody who needs it or they're not eating that night.
exactly. That was an amazing pay per view. What do you give it out of 10? Bro, I missed like one or two matches, but from what Brian told me, he saw the prelims and he saw
No,
the
you
other
only missed one
matches.
match. You saw them.
Oh, I only missed one?
Yeah, from the pay per
Oh,
view. From the pay per view.
from the pay per view itself? Dude, if we're rating pay per view match for match, I only missed one. So let's say that the other match I wouldn't have really cared about it, but every other match hit home. It was a great pay per view, dude. I don't know, like 8.5, 9 out of 10, something like that. Just because of the knockouts that we had and the styles of the matches that we had, and it wasn't a boring show.
It was better. It was better than the last interview, a pay per view they had,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I did love the result, but it was so anticlimactic. John Jones,
yes. It was one of the better pay per views that I've seen from UFC.
wait, he tapped them out in like 40 seconds, and everybody was like, "What?" Like it was so fast, people missed it.
Yeah, yeah. That was a surprising one, like that quick. I need to find a way to get Paul Heyman to hand the WWE Championship to Roman Reigns in the victory motion. Oh, I haven't seen that one, Brock. My fault. Yeah, I just saw your thing right now. I haven't seen that. That flying knee was crazy. Yeah, it was. Um, good show. Me and Brian were talking about it, and we're like going back and forth mainly because it was in our backyard. It was in Miami, and they were charging like WrestleMania level prices. And I was telling Brian that
First time since 2003.
yeah, that they've been here, and it's hard. It's hard because you're like, oh, is it really worth it? Should I go? Who's
You back out,
fighting?
fool?
No, it kicked me out.
Oh,
I'm making another lobby though.
alright.
So we looked at the show, and the card on paper looked good. It's not that it never looked good. It's just that the tickets went so quick.
Dude, and straight up from the tickets that I like to get were easily like in the 700 plus range.
Yeah, at least bare minimum. And if you don't get those day one, every minute it's inflation after inflation. By the time you go
I'm like,
buy it,
dog,
it's like a
I
thousand bucks.
cannot spend $1,000 on I feel like I would need somebody to hold my hand and press it for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Go buy that shit.
But it was definitely worthwhile, bro. It was worthwhile, worth the time, effort, money, all that good stuff. If you're really really big on it, I was telling Brian that for me, if I'm looking at what would it take me to go to a UFC event, well, first and foremost, decent seats need to be about 50 to 100 bucks. If I'm looking to spend anything more than that, and I would go with my wife, so that's double the trouble in terms of pricing. So if I'm willing to go to a show personally and it's above that price range, which is understandable, especially for a pay-per-view, it needs to be someone that it would have needed to be like Rashad Evans or Brock Lesnar or Rampage Jackson, Chuck Liddell. It would have needed to be Stipe Miocic, Lyoto Machida.
Which it could have
Um,
been.
it could have. And not that Israel Adesanya is not that guy to cheer for, and it's not that I never liked Jorge Masvidal. It's just through time and the type of matchup, I just felt that Jorge, I just wasn't willing to spend that kind of money and that kind of putting in that kind of effort for Jorge, bro. It just wasn't enough for me. The hometown hero warm welcome wasn't enough for me. And it's unfortunate because if this was a couple years ago after his big wins, title fight, whatever, maybe I would have done it. But I just saw it, man. His last couple fights, it was too visible. It was too visible. Even when he fought Nate Diaz, it was very, very visible. This man went from from nothing to being someone, and more power to him, bro. He knows how to promote the hell out of the fights, but for me, it's just I can't see it like wrestling because wrestling, I've been a fan of it all my life, and I'm like blind. I'm a fan blindly, almost to a. And I can't even say wrestling in general. It has to be more than anything WWE and just being very selective. Oh, you're talking about the AEW show in London? Look, man, if they use social media the right way, the shows on Dynamite the right way, and you combine that with local advertising like radio stations, TV, networks, and you put a lot of the WWE talent that they have, like Paige, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, John Moxley, Christian, Sting, Kenny Omega, who was in New Japan. If they're able to bring back CM Punk, if they're able to land Drew McIntyre if he's indeed leaving, if they're able to get all these guys to play ball and,
They need to
promote.
stop blending out their stars.
Yeah. Once they do that, you add Jay White to the mix, who's another big star overseas, yeah, they could sell out Wembley Stadium because there is that many fans in Europe that are
They're gonna go to
willing
the
to go.
stadium?
Yeah, they're going to Wembley Stadium in August,
Oh shit.
which holds about 60, right?
No, I think that's just be a failure.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
Well, who knows? UK really is like diehards though.
No, they are. They're territorial wrestling, and they're desperate for these big shows.
So it can go either way.
Well, I personally
But it's
think
a ballsy move.
that if they rely on the fan favorites that are household names, which I listed them already. As much as you and I aren't big fans of Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan sells out arenas. You know what I'm saying? Selling out a stadium is a little more complicated than that, but they have enough people to sell out a stadium. Like I said, Sting, Chris Jericho, John Moxley. They need star power to sell out? Nah, they need to promote the stars that they have already that are from WWE that are household names. They have the names. They have CM Punk for All In. He'll draw 90. No, that's not a given. I didn't mention CM Punk initially, and I mentioned him afterwards if he's willing to play ball. But that's why I said that, like, I guess in quotations. If he's willing to play ball and they're willing to accept him, yeah, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk can sell out that arena. They're going to draw more than SummerSlam 92. Just watch. Dude, they're not going to... Oh, my God. Dude, it's... Whatever, I'm not going to get worked up. If they fucking promote Darby Allin, MJF, and Jungle Boy... They're not going to sell out not even a Walmart Supercenter. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, damn it. Listen to what I'm saying for 1 second. If they bring in to promote the product the top household names, what do you mean? Listen to what I'm saying, bro. What do you mean what I mean? If they use the household names... All right? From WWE. Yes, if CM Punk is involved, if they get Daniel Bryan, they get freaking not Jungle Boy, I'm sorry, Sting, Chris Jericho.
Beware.
They need to use WWE, bro. They've been using WWE and dropping references to WWE for like the last 3 years. Now is the time to do it. Yeah, if they get Goldberg, that's another person that would help them tremendously. Exactly. So if they get household names and they promote local TV stations and radio shows, they have the passionate crowd that is willing to travel across Europe and London, England in general, United Kingdom, that whole area will
Now
definitely.
they can get Jorge Masvidal now that he's retired.
Yeah, they
He'll
could.
he'll get the most heat because of Leon Edwards.
Yeah, they could get Jorge Masvidal. Yeah, Will Ospreay is, I'm sure, willing to work for them. Kenny Omega from New Japan, his background there and working overseas. Jay White, I've already said it. But if you're promoting MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and, those AEW stars, if those are the guys that are going to promote Wembley, then they're going to be wrestling in the parking lot of a Walmart Supercenter. Bret Hart can't be the special guest at all, and he has a WWE Legends contract, my guy.
Oh, but you better think about the next UFC pay-per-view. Henry Cejudo coming out of retirement for the strap.
I'm scared. No, I'm not scared for him. Should I say I'm I don't know if I should be scared for him, but bro, is it just me? Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think that dude Aljamain is anything special though. I think he wouldn't be
I don't
champion if it
think.
wasn't
Yeah, I
for
don't think
that.
he's that good.
Yeah, I
The
don't think.
knee.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the, that's exactly why I was watching that match and I was super pissed off. And he was crying and everything, and then he acted like
he
he won the belt.
he won it from a DQ.
Yeah, that shit was so annoying. And then he acts like he's one of the greats in the division, though. I think Cejudo can easily beat him as long as he doesn't take him lightly.
Well, I mean, what sucks too is that Cejudo's been out. He hasn't fought in like what 6 years and shit.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue that he. That's what Aljamain has to his favor. That's it. Because he's not better than Cejudo, or is he? You tell me.
No, he's not better than Cejudo. Cejudo's
Then
an Olympic gold medalist.
who? Kurt Angle? No, I'm just kidding. And then they got fucking
You know what's funny too is that in the interview of like Brock and
huh?
DC and shit like that, they're like showing old pictures and shit like that. Like they all know each other, dog. DC had a picture with Cejudo and shit like that, and Brock's like, yo, you remember that?
That's funny. So they were all cool with each other.
Well, not all cool. Like they know each other from the scene.
Oh,
Cause
okay.
I guess like schools compete and shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, Brian, I'm here to report that they haven't fixed the online yet. We just got kicked out of the
Nah,
match.
this shit's still kicking. Dog, this is getting a little bit like this is like a
Different
little
too.
bit rant worthy, dog. Cause the game's out almost a month already,
Yeah, I
or
don't
more than
know.
a month.
I don't know how they haven't fixed it. I'm gonna try a Royal Rumble, and if it doesn't work, guys, then I'm going straight up offline.
Like it's fucking stupid.
In the US, he ain't
Fucking
going to the UK
stupid.
for a company you don't have any
Oh
affiliation with.
shit, Vince,
So
the greatest wrestling promoter of all time, and they have like the thing where he bought WWF for $1 million. He sold it for 9.2 billion.
yep, it's crazy. Yo, Try, you could join me. I got the lobby ready to roll.
I
Bret Hart thinks Tony Khan should be fired. He said that. What about Brian Pillman Jr.? Nah, he ain't gonna sell out.
Self-made billion.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
apparently, Ronnie, we were talking all that shit about that. I mean, I still feel the same though when I was talking, but I feel a little less. Remember how we were saying like, man, it's all like fucked up that he chose to sell the company instead of like
Giving it to his
handing it
kids.
down,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah, to his
it's
kids and shit.
yeah.
He bought WWF. His own dad didn't give him WWF.
Oh no no no. Yeah, that's true. 100%.
I didn't even know that he had to buy. Um, it was a million. He paid $1 million for WWF, and he had to make it by payments.
Yeah,
And if he missed one payment, it would have gone back to his dad
it was a
and his
stipulation.
partners
Yeah,
because his dad wasn't the sole owner.
yeah. They had a contract agreement, and and
Yeah,
not only that,
so his dad didn't leave him the company either.
he's the one that took WWE or WWF at the time and started buying the territories. His dad didn't want to do that either.
Yeah. So when you think about it, if Shane and Steph really wanted the company, they should have bought it, just like their
Hmm.
dad did.
Yeah. I think that
No
I
hand-me-downs.
I think that especially with Nick Khan being in charge, there was rumors about even The Rock gathering people to, rally enough people to like invest
Yeah.
to do like a joint venture. But I don't think they were interested enough, bro. I honestly think that look at Dana White when they asked him. He said, "When I was in New York, I had dinner with the McMahons." He's not talking about Linda McMahon. He was talking about Vince. He was talking about Stephanie. He's talking about Triple H. He said the McMahons, plural. He didn't say, I had dinner with Vince McMahon and we talked about it. He said, I had dinner with the McMahons and they specifically asked me, what was it like to work for Endeavor under their leadership? And he said, I'm going to tell you guys what I told them. Working for them has been fucking great, and they've allowed me to do what I have to do while doing what they are good at, which is sponsorships, promotions, and breaking deals. So this is gonna take WWE to the next level, bro. In terms of being an empire, even bigger. It just sucks that it's not a mom and pop, you know, hand me down to the daughter, son-in-law. But I've said this before, man. I'm gonna stick to what I've said to my guns, bro. I'm gonna keep enjoying the product as a fan. I don't like I comment and give my opinion on the behind the scenes stuff and shit because it comes with the territory. But I separate everything from like business, from like looking at it from the business standpoint to like looking at it from a consumer. I don't want Vince back in creative. I don't at all. I don't want him to be there 100%. But as long as Triple H is working there and Triple H has a team there and you know they continue doing stories that I get to enjoy with the wrestlers I get to enjoy, then I'm gonna keep watching. If it
Yeah,
becomes
but even if Triple H is not there and he's fired tomorrow, you're gonna keep watching.
yeah, but I manage how I keep watching though. Even with the watch parties, if that show was god awful, I wouldn't sit there and watch it. I just watch the pay per views. The only thing I'll always watch and keep my eyes on would be for sure the pay per views because the pay per views are always fun. I don't care for that. I gotta be honest. I don't care who's in charge. I always like watching the pay per views, even when WWE is bad. I've always watched their pay per views. So being in charge, especially Triple H, it's more about it's more about watching the product week to week and keeping my eyes on that. Lex, Vince basically ran Raw and Triple H ran SmackDown. Bro, the story basically no. The stories that Triple H had in place still happen. Things change and shit like that. They changed up SmackDown as well. You could say what you want just because you enjoyed SmackDown more or whatnot. It doesn't matter though. What matters is that the
Well,
stories are continuing. Go ahead.
yeah, and another video that the video I sent you was Dana. Another thing that I just came to me what they cut off. I don't know why, but because they're like, oh, how do you think it's gonna affect whatever? Like, you think people are gonna expect cross promotion or some shit like that? I forgot
Yeah,
exactly what the question was.
yeah, yeah,
But Dana was like, he kind of like laughed at it, and he's like, dude, it's like you guys act like we haven't done stuff with them in the past. Like they lent us Brock Lesnar before, and we allowed Ronda to go over there when Ronda was still on a UFC contract. So it's like
yeah.
we've worked
With them.
with WWE like to like lend talent, and he goes and he's like, and honestly, if there's anybody on the UFC roster that's talented enough and feels like they wanna go over to the WWE and wrestle,
By all means,
we
go
would have
for it.
done that even if they weren't part of Endeavor. We would have allowed them to do it anyways. So he's like,
Yeah,
so I don't understand like what the big deal like is.
I'm glad he answered that way. Yeah, because people want to act like they knew.
Because the thing is, he's like we don't see. He's like they're not a direct competitor to us or whatever or anything like that. Like you saw the part where he says it's like a different fan base.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
So he basically said like if there's anybody in our roster that felt like they wanted to go over there and do it, is like even if we weren't in the same company, I would have allowed them to do it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He's allowed it before. I'm gonna try it one last time, Trout, and that's it.
Alright.
This time I did a fatal four. You guys could join. I already have it open.
Alright.
Kwamik is calling me a casual fan. I mean, Kwamik, I'm only gonna entertain it because we have over 30 people. We have something to talk. We have something to talk about here, and I'm just gonna, roll with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't even acknowledge your comment. But if being a casual fan means that I know when to tune in and out of the product and enjoy it to my liking, and and me being a fan since the mid to late 90s and buying and playing so many different versions of their games and the products that I've had, from toys when I was a kid to shirts when I'm an adult to hats and collectibles, and getting my nephew into it, and my brother, and getting my wife into it, talking about it with my friends, even when I changed schools and I had friends that didn't care about it. Watching the pay-per-views, paying for Peacock or the WWE Network, or looking up a free stream, ordering WrestleMania, that one or two times that I've done it, going to WrestleMania twice, going to Fan Access twice, going to NXT, going to AEW, going to Raw countless times, going to SmackDown countless times, going to Hell in the Cell, going to Survivor Series. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So if that makes me a casual fan and I've supported WWE as long as I've had, then by all means, bro, I am a casual fan. If that's what the definition is. But again, it's not really directly. I'm just generalizing for the other people watching as well, because sometimes people come into the stream and they hear my take on something in particular and they immediately jump the gun and they think that I just started watching wrestling yesterday. Or like I'm some kind of freaking bozo and shit. Like, yeah, maybe I'm a bozo in your eyes because I don't agree with you, or we don't agree on the same thing. What up, Jose? And we don't agree on the same thing. But we don't have to agree on the same thing, bro. We each like what we like. We have our own taste buds. But I will tell you this, guys. We all got to like the same thing tonight, man. We're 7 likes away from getting to 20 likes. We have 27 people in here. We should have already been into the 30-40 range. I know it's kind of late, but it's Saturday night. We watched a UFC pay-per-view. We're here talking about that. We're talking WWE. We're talking SmackDown. So I'm all ears. Hit us up with some topics in the chat box and we'll continue the conversation going. Why do you think Triple H did the speeches he did this week? Vince was in the back with headset telling him what to say. First and foremost, Triple H didn't have an earpiece, so I don't know how Vince being in the headset backstage talking to him would work unless he used some like alien kind of technology where he just kind of like radials in the frequency to his brain. And then on top of that, every time they do a major event like a WrestleMania or WWE, in the rare instance, do something as massive as announcing that they're selling the company and they're the talk of the town, they bring out leadership in some way, shape, or form to show that they're still there. So Triple H coming out is no different than Vince McMahon coming out or Stephanie McMahon coming out or anybody that's been in leadership. Just thought I'd let you know. Wow, this dude got eliminated and quit already. Damn. All right, child. If we're gonna do it, let's go 5 stars. I'm not gonna try to eliminate you anymore. I started watching in 2011 when I was like 8 or 9. I'm 19, probably a bit off, but I've got so deep into this listening to the legends and bookers of the old days, Jim Cornette, to understand the wrestling business. You know, and even then, it's their opinion, bro. Triple H said it best when he took control of creative and he started working backstage with the team that he has in place. He said, no one's going to surpass Vince McMahon in terms of his accomplishments and what he did for as many years as he did it for. We have a big shoe to fill. But if we put together the team, like if we work together, like the team that we have, and we listen to each other, and we try to tell the best story that we could possibly tell, then that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, we all have our own taste and our own flavor. So what I'm trying to say by paraphrasing his quote is that, yeah, you could listen to Jim Cornette all you want. You could listen to Eric Bischoff. But those are all people that, you know, have their own take on it. You know? At the end of the day, you got to take those opinions and their point of views, like, not necessarily with a grain of salt, but like, take it at face value.
With a grain of salt. I think Jim Cornette's an idiot.
Well, and you can, bro. You can say that, but Vince Russo and those guys, you know, you could say that you follow their story, and they had some success at some point in time. Even what those people accomplished in TNA with Dixie Carter and them, they were on top in their little bubble for a little bit, so they're good to listen to. But at the end of the day, truth of the matter is, it's their flavor, bro, versus yours and the next guy and the next guy. If you look at Tony Khan, let's look at Tony Khan and how he books, just to change the way the conversation from Vince McMahon a little bit. If you look at Tony Khan and what he's done with AEW, look at the way he promotes the show. There's a lot of fantasy, indie, you know, matches going out over there.
What was the big announcement that he was supposed to do last week?
That they're going to Wembley, London. First show in London.
That's the big announcement. That's the important news that he had to drop during WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so when you look at the way he books his show, everything's a dream match, everything's a crossover event. He's trying to show that he's willing to work with everyone and anyone. And that's his take on wrestling. You know, that's his take on what he wants to do with his product. Is it wrong? No. Does WWE need to do that? No. You know, WWE has enough people on their roster. Tony wishes he could work with WWE. No, he does. He's already said it before that he's tried working with them and that they haven't been so friendly with him and that he doesn't really have beef with them, but that they're the ones that haven't really been too kind to him.
I'm not gonna take this shit.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and take this fucking shit. He said some shit like that. I'm not gonna take this from anybody. So, you know.
Come on, that's fucking. How you can possibly know that? How that AEW has more UK fans than WWE?
Yeah, no, I don't think they do. Bro, attempting to restore. I think this guy backed out.
No, that's what Byron said. He said he looked at the statistics.
Oh, let me see.
He's looking at analytics.
Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, I looked at the statistics. AEW has more UK fans than WWE. All right, bro. So here's the thing. AEW has been around now, give or take 3-4 years. They're pulling up probably on 4. I hope you know that they haven't been televised and talked about across the world on TV in that same amount of time. They started off in the US and then they started expanding little by little. And that's why they like using, like, you know, Bleacher Report and Fight so they could get ordered all across the world. But to say that they have more fans than WWE is outlandish They don't even sell out shows in the U.S. unless it's in the same places like Chicago, certain places that are very specific. You know, and that's not a knock on them. They haven't even dominated the U.S. territory. What makes you think that they're dominating the UK without ever even stepping foot in that country? The reason why he's doing All In over there in London is because that's like their WrestleMania pay-per-view, and they haven't taken a risk in a long time. So this is his way of taking a risk. Within the last couple months, he's already gone global by doing shows in Canada. And now he's going across the pond, so to speak, by going to the UK. So, yeah, it's a massive risk. But to sit here and act like, oh yeah, he has more fans in the UK. No. Now, are there fans over there of the product? I mean, hello. They have Paige on their roster who's from over there, and plenty more that people love from WWE that have been over there. So, yeah, they do have fans over there. But if you've listened to anything I've been saying about AEW going to Wembley, is that for them to sell out Wembley, they need to rely on the headliners. They need to promote with the big timers, the people that are already world famous. They can't use, as much as I like MJF, they can't put the whole stadium on his back because he ain't selling out Wembley.
Especially with Jungle Boy.
Especially with Jungle Boy. Now, if you pair him with someone like the Daniel Bryan CM Punk stuff, okay, maybe that would help selling out, but he's going to use the help of that megastar. But him and Jungle Boy, they won't even sell out a arena over here unless it's like, again, one of their home base arenas like Chicago and shit like that. Yeah, they could do MJF versus CM Punk all in 3. Yeah, they could do that match. And that would help. But again, we're talking about a guy who Chris Jericho dubbed as the cancer of the locker room. A guy who's beefing with Jon Moxley. A guy who doesn't get along with Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or Adam Page. You're talking about a guy who the locker room turned on because of Colt Cabana. So
yeah, I think CM Punk just has the issue.
Exactly. So please explain to me why you keep bringing him up like he's a done deal. We got to talk about what they have on their roster right now. Who do they have that could garner that kind of attention? Daniel Bryan is he's the one that comes to the top of my mind. Daniel Bryan, 100%.
An American Dragon.
100% the American Dragon will do it. Another one, Chris Jericho.
It was my favorite Disney Channel cartoon.
The Chris Jericho story was false, Lex. All right. Well, Chris Jericho has some kind of beef with CM Punk because he wrote it on his Twitter. I mean, on his Instagram. He addressed Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho. So, dude, they could get close to selling out Wembley, if not sell out Wembley. If they and Paige is another megastar over there too. Dude, if WWE was, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Nah, then her porn videos sold out over there.
If they get, yeah, Sting will definitely be a big name over there. That's like doing the Saudi Arabia show. Why do you think WWE always gets Goldberg for the Saudi Arabia show? And Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and all these old guys. Because the fans over there never got to see them. You can put MJF in the main event, but it does have to be a big star like you said. And not only that, dude, he could be in the main event all you want. The person promoting the show needs to be a big timer, bro. Somebody that people know and recognize. Somebody like Chris Jericho. When you see Chris Jericho, you don't think AEW, especially over there. Over there, you know what they think over there? They're like, oh, Chris Jericho, that's the guy from WWE. Or, oh, that's the guy Y2J from the Attitude Era. The guy that beat Stone Cold and The Rock at the same night. That's what they think. You see Chris Jericho, you think wrestling. You don't think AEW. So they need somebody like that. John Moxley? Kenny.
They need Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they do. Especially right now. But yeah, Kenny Omega would definitely help. Bro, you keep saying Bret Hart. He signed to WWE, bro. I know he signed to WWE, but he's a big part of presenting the AEW title. Bro, that was only one night. Keith Lee got even more overweight since WWE releasing him. Yeah, he did. WWE releasing him was a good idea. I don't want to say it was a good idea, but definitely it affected him.
What about Aleister Black and Andrade?
Yeah, no, Rusev would be a big name over there.
I feel like Rusev is a fucking cuck.
He's a what?
Rusev is a cuck.
What the hell is that?
Well,
You say cuck?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I think I've heard of that word.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to ruin Rodney's mentality.
I don't know why it's changed. What the fuck? Yeah.
Hey, you keep tapping me out. Bulldog was a big part of Wembley. Yeah, he was. Damn, bro, I don't know how we're not getting a 5-star match. All I know is that I could have eliminated you already like 3 times. Keith Lee was a future world champion in WWE. I'm still upset about what they did to him. If they would have built them up right, yeah, it would have taken time. Future.
Vince fucking hated him, dog.
Yeah, because Vince hates everybody that's fat.
Yeah, Vince hates fat people, dude.
He really does. I think
Chris Jericho had the funniest story, dude. You know when they had the friendship storyline with him and Kevin Owens?
yeah.
About they did the WrestleMania match, and you know it wasn't his best ever, but it was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
And Vince didn't say anything to Chris, but Kevin Owens came to Chris saying basically distraught, dude. The dude was destroyed. He said Vince told him that was the worst match he's ever seen, WrestleMania match he's ever seen in his entire life. and Chris was he didn't want to verify the story because if it was true, he didn't want Vince to go off on him.
Yeah.
So, but he's like, dude, I was super confused. Like the worst match. Like I understand it wasn't the best WrestleMania match, but the worst WrestleMania match you've ever seen in your life. And then, according to backstage, is that while the entire match, as it was going down, Vince couldn't stop talking about how horrible Kevin Owens looked and how fat he was. And that
Yeah.
he hated every time he went to the top of the turnbuckle to do the high flyer move.
Yeah.
Vince was pulling his hair out. He hated it.
I would love to be a whole like a little fly on the wall.
He's like he doesn't believe that big dudes like that should be doing any moves like that.
Vince wanted Keith Lee to be serious. Yeah, by calling him Bearcat.
That's why Vince hates Bray too.
Yeah, I know that supposedly he abused him or something. Like verbally.
But I don't understand. Why are you signing fat people though? Then it's because the equal opportunity, whatever bullshit, not to get sued.
No, dude, I just think that wrestling. Look, Brian. How do I say this? No, because I'm trying to be. Because I don't agree with his demeanor. I don't agree with Vince's way. I don't
Imagine
know.
getting fat shamed by your employer.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. So, guys, understand that I'm not on Vince McMahon's side at all with what I'm about to say.
Oh shit, you're about to go off on fat people.
No, bro, why didn't we hear about this during the Attitude Era or the early 2000s when there was all these big ass personalities in the locker room, and you know, we had fat guys, little guys, big guys, strong guys, steroid guys, all in between. Everybody went into work, they did their job, and they did it really good. It doesn't matter if you were a main eventer, mid-carder, or a jobber. Everyone was doing their job, and they all elevated each other, and the product was at an all-time high. You know, Vince hasn't changed at all from then to now. What's changed? And what's changed is again, I don't agree with Vince's behavior, but it's the weak mentality and the getting affected by those kind of comments and getting affected by, you know, at the end of the day, taking it too hard. You know, no,
But
it's not old age, dude.
Imagine being bullied by a 77-year-old man.
Imagine allowing that shit cloud your mind. Yeah, that's the thing. So look at The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, um, Shane McMahon, even Bret Hart, who has, you know, forgiven him for the shit that they pulled on him and everything that played out and all the bitterness.
Won't forgive Goldberg.
Won't forgive Goldberg. But what I was gonna say is that, like, everyone has been like, oh, Vince has been a father figure, Vince has been that. How could a guy like that and be such a piece of shit human being that people make him out to be? How can they be that, but then be like that for the big stars or even the little stars? Because even Daniel Bryan has talked good about Vince despite him being as harsh as he is. And it's just the level of tolerance, bro. It varies from person to person. You know, Rikishi was fat. It didn't stop Rikishi from being in the...
Vince is just biased to who he likes and who he doesn't like.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Like, he doesn't need a reason not to like you. He just doesn't like you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Of course. And yeah, Mark Henry was forced to be in the gimmick, bro. Half of these people didn't like every gimmick they've ever done. Come on, guys, don't be naive. Of course, these people weren't happy with, you know, going out there dressed like a clown. But people went out there and did everything they could to get over and just put on a good show. And in the modern era that we live in, child, I'm gonna give up on the online shit, bro. I'm just gonna hang out and talk shit.
All right.
Since we can't do nothing more than just a fatal four. Again, I don't agree with it. It's not justified behavior. It's not worth celebrating, but the people that tolerate and put up with that environment, and it's like a dog eat dog stupid, you know, old school mindset, are the ones that really excelled and did as good as they did. And, you know, they demanded respect from Vince and he was forced to give it. But if you're one of these crybabies that goes and talks to Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross and every other dirt sheet and you talk bad about Vince, and, oh man, he called me fat, and oh, you know, you're just a whiny little... Because who...
I see him Punk.
Pretty much, yeah. Because who else is going to put that story out there if not you? You catch my drift? So why were these guys back then so successful? Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, you know?
It was a different business too.
Different business, very different business, very different mentality. You know, times change and Vince didn't. And that's just a fact. And again, guys, I don't agree with that kind of behavior. I'm not even saying that it's okay. I'm just saying the new generation of talent that walk through those locker rooms are just not the same. They, like, the people, maybe some, with the exception of very few, have the fortitude and tolerance. But
Oh, that shit that was on TMZ about WWE publicly apologizing for the promo that they used for Dominic during WrestleMania.
what was it? What was the promo?
So, you know the in WrestleMania when Dominic came out and he was coming out of jail and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm talking about?
yeah,
That entire little cutscene.
yeah. The segment. What happened?
Oh, they had to make a public apology, and there was outrage and everything in the community because one of the photos, you know how they were doing, they were clipping shits of jails together.
Yeah.
One of the photos or the videos that they were showing of like that Dominic was in jail, or whatever, was a concentration camp from like the Nazis and shit.
Oh shit.
And they were trying to cancel WWE. They had to make a public apology. But the reason I'm laughing is I'm like, dog, the dude that probably put that shit together was probably just Googling jails.
Yeah. Of course.
Put that shit together. And without knowing.
You see what I'm saying, bro? And again, guys, I'm being very loud and clear because you guys, when we talk about iffy things like this, sometimes, if not most of the times, my shit gets taken out of context. So I'm trying to be very, very loud and clear. If there's an option on using a fake jail cell or a set to create a jail cell over a Googled picture from a concentration camp, obviously I would go with the fake jail cell and not use the concentration camp. But to fault the person that put that together, who was trying to make it legit, like a scary scene, and like blame WWE for the production failure of like being overly sensitive to the fact of the matter, is crazy, bro. Because how many TV shows and how many movies that represent those time periods actually recreate those hurtful moments in life? And the way that WWE used it, it was like, it's kind of like, if it's almost like dark humor in a way, because that's what Dominic Mysterio's character is. He's kind of like, he's not your typical laughable comedian character. He's like a serious, whiny, not so serious comedic act. And the jail gimmick has gotten so over that they really went all out with that setup. And now we're offended because of the way that they used it. All right, bro, to each his own. But it's more point. It's adding more proof to the point that I'm listing, is that in the world we live in now, every talent feels like they belong in the main event. Every talent feels like they're capable of headlining WrestleMania. Every talent feels like they could cut the best promo or put on the best match. No one wants to get talked down to or get constructive criticism. Nobody wants to listen to the fan reaction. Everybody says the fans are stupid when it doesn't work their way. So there's no middle ground. There's no comfortable middle ground. So it's just crazy. I'm talking about Hall of Pain. Mark didn't want to be portrayed as an angry large black man on TV. Vince ribbed him. Mark was legit angry when he was rubbed by Vince. Eventually Vince convinced him to play the character, which, to be honest, saved Mark's career. It made him a Hall of Famer. Remember when they called Mark Henry Silverback? They did call him Silverback. So dude, is calling Bray Wyatt fat the right move, or Kevin Owens, or Keith Lee? No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. But let me put it this way. We gotta stop like adding so much stock to these things. Because and guys, if Brian and I were born and raised from Miami, we've been playing online multiplayer games since online multiplayer came to consoles. And in every Call of Duty lobby, Brian has been there. People have literally called me Mexican. How is calling someone a nationality or even a place of origin offensive? Please explain that to me. How is calling someone, shut up, you Mexican? How is that like derogatory? It shouldn't be. It's the way that it's used. Let's be honest. If let me look. If Darby Allin, I'm gonna pick someone from AEW and someone from WWE. If Darby Allin were to stand next to Kevin Owens or Bray Wyatt, how is it okay to call Darby Allin skinny or little, but it's a problem to call, Kevin Owens or Bray fat or big? We live in a world that we can't just be. Everything is a negative. Everything is like, everything needs to be like, there needs to be an extra agenda behind everything. It can't just be. And that's the biggest problem with social media, with the comment. Like, I'm gonna give this guy the spotlight just because we're on the subject. I'm gonna give him the spotlight. I want to read it to you guys because it really made me laugh. Brian knows what comment I'm gonna talk about. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to look for the comment so I could read it to you word for word because I gotta talk about this because we didn't talk about it the other day and I think it was really hilarious. So I uploaded from Friday Night SmackDown my reaction to Vince McMahon announcing the draft, and this guy he's one of those little Debbie Downer dudes. I've seen him in the comment section before in other videos. It's not the first time he's been a Debbie Downer. But look at what he posted, and this is how you notice that when you have too much time in your hands and you use it for wrong, you could go a long way if you try. But if you were to invest that same energy into being positive, you would get even further. But look at what this guy wrote to me in my draft reaction video. Imagine a grown-ass man marking out to a draft, and he's married. Jesus, this world really needs help. Now, reading that comment, at the time that he posted it too, it was like 2 a.m, by the way. It was Friday night, 2 a.m. I know that because I was actually live or going live, and I was getting ready to play with Trout and Brian some Call of Duty. So
Call of Duty.
I had two options when I read that shit. I could have brushed it off or gotten in my feelings and gotten butthurt. That he pointed out that I was married and that I was excited over the draft. The guy's name is Brian's Medley 6783. That's the username. You know what my reply to him was? This is what he wrote to me, and I'm going to tell you my direct reply. He said, again, I'm going to read it once again, and I quote, imagine a grown-ass man marking out to a draft, and he's married. Jesus, this world really needs help. So that means that guy paid so much attention that he saw the ring on my finger. So he realized that I was married. And because I'm married, I can't be excited about the WWE draft, a show that I'm watching live with you guys, which you guys watch to see my reaction in the watch parties. He says, Jesus, this world really needs help. And I put, starting with you, watching that same grown-ass man and wasting your time and mine with this pathetic comment. And I put the bozo emoji. So I brought that guy up because I want to give him the bozo award. He's the one that's taking it home. He's in the server room.
Give him the Bozo Championship.
Yeah, he's getting the Bozo Championship with Doink the Clown.
He beat Logan Paul?
Yeah, he beat Logan Paul. So I could have easily read that comment and gotten in my feelings and freaking not gone live on stream and deleted the video because I marked out. Or how is saying that I marked out, like, how is that supposed to be like a negative thing? Just like calling me fat, calling me married and a mark, calling me Mexican. Like, use your brain. And in my case, in this, people have called me fat plenty of times. Bro, you know what I do with that? I get a nice, thick piece of I was gonna say toilet
I
paper.
don't know where you're going with that.
I don't know where I was going either. I don't know where that came out of. I get a nice thick piece of toilet paper.
Came out of your arse.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to do.
It was a nice piece, thick
Nice,
piece of
nice
what?
piece. Wait, what? You got chocolate? I get a nice piece of toilet paper. I wipe my ass and I flush it down the toilet. It literally made me chuckle and laugh because
After a big old Monduke.
yeah, exactly. Who's the big loser here, guys? The guy writing the comment at 2 in the morning, or the guy who uploaded the video to create content for anyone to enjoy? You know what I'm saying? So take things into perspective. If a 77-year-old man calls me fat or whatever, I'll tell him to go kick rocks. I get it though. Easier said than done. In a hostile work environment, you can't just tell Vince McMahon to go kick rocks.
I fucking kick his walker out the way.
Exactly. He comes to tell me that was one of the worst matches I've seen. I'll tell him, I'd like to see you do better, old man. You know, so we gotta stop letting people make us feel so little, bro. Because look at Kevin Owens, exceptional talent. Bray Wyatt, when he wants to be, exceptional talent. Keith Lee, when he wants to be, exceptional talent. What up, Tristan? Screw the haters, Lexx. People talk out their arse. Thank you, Chase, with the $2 dono. Let's go. Yo, Brian, did you end up installing Call of Duty on your laptop or no?
Yeah.
And you got a Ghost Recon too?
Yeah.
Nice. You want to play Call of Duty or no?
Well, right now?
Oh, I don't know. Whenever. Are you gonna start taking your laptop every day to work?
Yeah.
And is the internet good enough for you to play online?
Yeah, I've been playing online.
Nice. Finn Balor's a feature champion. I think you mean future champion. There's the animation. Chase walking down the ramp like the people's champ with the $2 root. Thank you. Let's
We
go.
need that rock back.
Yeah, we need the rock back. All the
We need
little
that rock back.
with the little silky smooth.
And not the Black Adam Shazam. I don't want Shazam rock.
Yeah. Not the freaking people's loser. The people's doofus.
I'd rather take Snoop Dogg's People's Elbow.
No, that shit was in slow motion, but I give him props. That shit was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Jesus.
You didn't like the Snoop Elbow?
Nah, I did. I like the actual elbow. I just didn't like him running across the ring. I thought Grandpa was gonna get hurt.
He did it the wrong way too.
Yeah, he did. Doggy elbow? Hell yeah, he did it doggy style.
The doggy elbow.
Yeah. Lex, stop being mean. How am I being mean? What are you talking about? Lex, stop being a hater. What are you talking about, Chris? Wake up, dude. What stream are you watching? Stop being a hater? What? Oh yeah, Chris. Yo, Chow, what did you say? Where did you told me you saw Chris a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, saw him at the Ruby Tuesday salad bar.
Well, you saw him getting some dressing. I remember you told me.
Yeah, he got some Thousand Island dressing with Marco in the Target parking lot. Had a little salad bar set up in the parking lot.
Yo, Charles. Charles, do you got the stream set up? Stream pulled up?
Nah.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. Hold on, I gotta add on. Alright, it's up.
You got it up? Alright.
Yeah.
Hold on. That shit is so funny. So you saw Chris, and who was he hanging out with though?
Marco.
Margo and Byron too, right?
Yeah, Byron too.
All right, guys. This is crazy. I cannot believe that we found out where these guys were hiding at the whole time. No wonder Chris has been acting a fool. It makes perfect sense now, fool.
What's that, food?
No, that it makes perfect sense. That Chris himself,
Yeah.
he's the real salad bar manager. Is this a salad bar you saw him at by chance? Did you take this picture? I think I see him getting food on the other side of the picture. I don't know if you see it on your stream or Ruby Tuesdays.
Hell yeah.
And he was getting some
That's
salad
funny as
dressing
shit.
too, right?
Yeah, he went half and half Thousand Island and French.
Oh, I see the Thousand Island bottle there on the right side.
Hell yeah.
You see it over there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So Chris has been hanging out there the whole time.
Salad bar manager.
He's been the salad bar manager. Chris, you didn't tell us that you were there.
Was Marco the crouton supervisor?
Margot and Byron is he's the leader. He's the leader of the pact. Hold on. Damn, I got the wrong picture right now.
Sam said the Caesar salad.
Look at the bozo.
Is that, is, is, is that Chris? Is that Chris?
Tuesdays is popping.
This shouldn't be that funny.
He's the
Little
little
birthday
bozo
party.
he's asking, well, you want Thousand Island or you want vinegar and oil?
How about some poppy seed?
Oh shit. Yo, oh my goodness. I can't believe we finally found a picture to see what Chris looks like since he doesn't have a profile picture, bud. Oh my god. That is crazy to me. We really spotted him. What happened though? Chris really out there by himself? Chris. Is that you?
That's some funny shit.
Hold on, let me see. I got another one for you. Oh my god, that made me laugh so much. No way. I got another one.
Chris doesn't recognize himself.
Chris doesn't recognize how too much paint. Hold on, what the hell?
Look at that. He's wearing the manager hat.
Is that Marco hanging out in the parking? We got a live look at. We got a live look.
Got a live
Byron.
feed.
We got a live feed. Byron, what are you staring at, bro? What the hell is Byron staring at?
Oh, Byron, because he wasn't working that day.
Byron is staring at the computer programming chip.
He's looking at this week's schedule.
He's going to clock in.
Oh my god, that is crazy. What type of salad is being served over there? Greek salad, Caesar salad. What's on the menu? I know,
Cobb
Chris.
salad.
Oh my god, we're having too much fun. Saturday night, we in the spot.
Having fun on Easter.
Hey Lex, a little Easter. Hey Lex, what two games would you like to see represent? Wait, what? GMs. Oh, what two GMs would you like to see represent Raw and SmackDown in the draft? I would.
Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce. Oh man, that was some good laughs, good times right there. This is
That
too
was pretty
much.
funny.
I know, my freaking stomach hurts from laughing so much. Damn, I exposed them. I see that salad, that Caesar salad over there. Salad makes you throw up. What up, Jason? He's talking about real stuff and the truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Lex. Oh, I already saw that one. Snoop did great. Man called an audible. Yeah, no, he sure did. Massive audible. Massive audible. Just like we had to call an audible because we got a live look of freaking Marco hanging out with freaking Chris at the salad bar, bud.
This is the saddest target I've ever seen.
Shit looks boring as hell, right?
That
You go there and you just go to sleep.
shit is so sad right there at the parking lot.
They don't even got carts out there. They barely got carts out there. Oh shit.
There's only four little carts, little red carts out there.
Yeah, there ain't that many people out there. That's because it's 7 o'clock in the morning. That's one. Let me see if I can find another salad bar, bud. I did put Ruby Tuesdays to see what came up. Let me see how we got a better picture. Oh my god, bro. Oh shit. Hold on.
Chilling out in the Olive Garden with all you can eat bread sticks.
Yeah, we gotta get the breadsticks in there somewhere. We got the Wishbone Thousand Island trout. All right, I'm done. I'm done. All right. So yeah, guys, what's the next segment we're getting into? That clown look like Pennywise, the dancing clown. Hogan. Let me tell you something, brother. Where you quit it? You mean will you quit it? Yeah. Hey, acknowledge me. We always acknowledge you, Byron. We acknowledge you to be in the server room. You were looking for what we're gonna talk about. Lex, I would love Hulk Hogan for Raw and Booker T for SmackDown. What do you think? What do you?
Never happened.
Are you talking about my GM and WWE 2K23? I'm breaking your
Booker
heart.
T's doing NXT. He has his own promotion, his own wrestling school.
Yep. Nah, Booker T's booked.
Hulk Hogan, he's just old, man.
Hulk
If
Hogan.
Vince can't work, what makes you think Hulk Hogan can work?
If Hulk Hogan could, he'd still be wrestling out there, bro. Yo, guys, we're 5 likes away from 20, man. Come on. Haven't you guys laughed a little bit tonight with us? Come on. Y'all can do better than that. Not cool, Lex. Chris, you brought it on yourself. I know. He was the one saying that I was being a hater, remember? Chris versus the Salad Texas Deathmatch. AEW All
Hey,
In.
you wanna know what's funny is that in the post conference they asked Dana White if they planned his entrance, like coming out like to watch the fights or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Because Dana White's like, no, he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, we don't plan that shit. It's like the fights are about to start, so we just walked out. Because
Uh-huh.
he coincidentally he walked out with Trump and Kid Rock together. They just walked out together, and he said that the DJ of the arena just by himself started playing American Badass.
That is hilarious. That's some funny shit. That's
Remember
a
that shit, the Undertaker song?
yeah. I am American Badass. That's Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit. Himself to be Roman, he would book himself to be Roman. Are you talking about real life? Nah, Goldberg. Nah, Goldberg would make a funny joke.
brother.
Yeah, he's not. You're being bad behavior, my dude. Chris, you're the one saying that I was a hater.
Hey, Jason.
Oh yeah, everybody's a little sleepy tonight. I think everybody fell asleep in the chat. Who's still awake in the chat? Let's see. Throw up the ones. We the ones.
You got 33 people in here.
I know. And on my end is showing 35, but I don't see nobody moving the ones.
Huh. You the twos, and we The
ones. Yo, is it me or doesn't Byron and Chris seem like they're the same person? You just said that's not cool.
The two sides of the same salad bar.
Oh shit. No way. Tell me you did not just say that. I want Goldberg to BGM.
He's the salad bar manager, and then Byron's the Winnie Hut Jr. supervisor. Well, Chris handles the salads, and Byron handles the glizzies.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that is the funniest shit I've heard. That is so funny. Oh shit, we're having too much fun with that. Look at this picture. I just found another picture, bro. I just can't help it, dog. I found another picture. Look at this picture I'm about to put. Watch. Hold on, guys.
It's Marcos.
You see that shit? Oh my goodness. That's you, Trout. Ooh, Chris called you out, Trout. We got a battle royale of the bozos. Ronald McDonald. Having a toothache and the street profits are up and we want the smoke.
It's a battle of the red noses.
Hail, son. Dude's a unit. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that picture, actually. I think I might call it, guys. I think I might call it. We've ran out of gas already there. We've covered pretty much everything we could possibly cover Saturday night. First, I'm not fat. I'm not skinny more than you, bud. What do you mean? I never said you were fat or skinny. What are you talking about, bro?
You can be the manager of a salad bar and be fat.
Yeah. What the hell? I'm skinny, but nobody attacked anybody's weight here. So I don't know where you got that from. I think it's time to put you to sleep. Well, houses, balls, the veil.
That's a salad bar measuring portions.
Hell yeah. What the hell?
When you get 2 squeezes out of that Thousand Island bottle.
Oh yeah, he's out there squeezing the shit out of the bottle, giving it the Hulkamania. Shit.
And Marco's counting the crouton.
First, I'm not a bozo. What happened? That's Trout and that other guy. Sent the image on Discord. All right, let me see it. Where did you send the image? In what lobby?
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky who? Main? All right, let me see. Nah, I don't see the picture. It hasn't loaded up on my end. Guys, I really wanted to do a couple matches online, but the freaking multiplayer is being garbanzon. I don't feel like doing a full show. Oh, it's still loading. Slow Wi-Fi. All right, I'll check it out now when you put it. But yeah, that's basically what I was gonna do. I was gonna stream like 1 or 2 hours, talk UFC, talk some WWE, and play some 2K23. But unfortunately, you know, we didn't get to do that many matches. But I'm definitely gonna be streaming tomorrow at some point. Brian, you repeat one message whole stream most of the time. How are you not? I know, you're right, Straight Edge. Straight Edge calling them out. I know Brian's about to get off too. He's about to sell out. He got to clock out. Get on the road to WrestleMania. Still drinking energy drinks? Well, drink a little sleepy foo-foo energy drink because you're about to hit the salad bar. You know why? Because tell him. Oh, yeah. Houses, balls, the van. Where's it at? Where's it at? I know we got it here somewhere. There it is. Hold on.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate,